And now, through the magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future, Transformers Slag Podcast.
What up, everybody? Kind of a surprise stream today. Got a little something in the mail, and I figured instead of just opening on my lonesome, I figured I'd opening up live with you guys here, and we could all just enjoy the unboxing together. We're pretty much recording from a different spot in the house on my lovely Proto Man playmat that I use for tabletop stuff, specifically Magic the Gathering or otherwise. I usually have this or a Jester's Cap mat from Magic the Gathering. And today we are going to be opening up something that I got in the mail through the P.O. box, got sent to me by Michael Koo. And we got a case of Blokees Defender version here. Got pretty much the very first Blokees of Hot Rod ever. So we're going to crack these open. We're going to see if we got the rare chases or something. Here's what we got here, the whole crew. This was one of the very first Blokees sets that had vehicles. Work with me, camera. The Devastator pieces and everything like that. Hopefully the chases, if I remember correctly, let me just get those in shot there. You had the two different Soundwaves and the two different Grimlocks that were called special armor versions or whatever, which just, had extra pieces and everything that you could clip on. So we're going to crack this open. Again, thank you to Michael Koo for sending this. And yeah, we'll see what we get. I mean, we're guaranteed essentially a full set. It's just usually how these Blokees work is either the regular Grimlock or the regular Soundwave will then be replaced with one of these chase ones if you get the chase ones, which according to this here, yeah, 1 out of 32 cases or 1 out of 64 cases. So good luck with that. But I mean, at least I'm guaranteed to get my boy here, Hot Rod, and I'll get my boy Shockwave. So at least I'll get those guaranteed. So there's no problems with that. There we go here. All 12 case assortment. Again, shout out to Michael Koo for the hookup. Just crack these all open, bring them all out here for a moment. Then we'll put the case aside. And of course, with any Blokees, people who don't know, when you buy a case, you also get these oversized cards. Looks like I got 2 of them here. Scream is music to my ears. So we got 2 oversized Soundwave Chase trading cards. The bottom, we call those box toppers. So very cool. So let's put these aside. Actually, no, I'll put them here. Do not have this planned out at all. Just figure we'll do whatever. And we'll see who we get. Who do we get? Alrighty. So let's crack open the first one. Let's see who we get. Probably should use my X-Acto with these. These usually open better with an X-Acto, but can't be helped. And the first one we got is, and usually you just have to look at the trading card to know that. Come on, work with me here. Silica gel. And we got the Shattered Glass Optimus. That one. Very good. Put the boxes here for now. Number 2. Who do we got? Who do we got? This one is Silica Gel. We got Skywarp. I'm not even aiming to get the chases on these. If I get the chases, hey, that's great. But at the end of the day, I think the only time I'm going to care about the chases is with those billion versions of Rodimus, which I might as well pull up that slide. Where is that? Do I even have that slide available? I don't even think I have that available. But yeah, essentially the next wave of Blockies of this is going to have like 4 different Rodimuses. So yay for me, who's wanting to track those down. Yeah, I'll use the X-Acto, make things easier. So that's going to be a bit of a headache, but it is what it is. You know, they got away with doing Blockies without Hot Rod for so long that now it's raining Hot Rod figures, essentially. So, and even the next wave after that, now the Galaxy versions are going to have a normal Hot Rod with that too. So, between all of those, it's going to be crazy. Got Shattered Glass, Optimus Vehicle Mode. Pretty hype. Pretty hype. We'll build some of these live too. Who's in the chat today? We got Patrick Brown. We got Will Murphy. I want to make sure I get everybody. I know it's a weird time to be recording, well, actually doing a live, but figured again, I could either open these alone or I could open these with you guys watching, you know? So I figured might as well just open them with you guys watching. You could enjoy the madness. Constructicon vehicle. In this case, this one I believe is Mixmaster. No silica gel with that one. Interesting. Sometimes it includes poison, sometimes it doesn't. Only 2 poisons. Maybe that's the chase, is the poison. Are you going to build live? Yeah, maybe I'll build a few of them live. Figure why not? Not just going to open them. I'll build, for sure, I'll build like the hot rod. You know what I mean? Definitely build the hot rod live. Man, the glue is strong on these ones. I don't remember them being this strong with the regular versions, the Galaxy ones. Ah, there he is. There he is. So we're going to put you aside because you're going to be the first one we build. No bias. Very first hot rod blocky. So that makes it special. Makes it very special. Cringe McCringle, what's up? Oh, I'm getting all the paper everywhere. There's Soundwave. Oh, is this the special one? No, it's a regular Soundwave. Oh, well. Well, maybe the Grimlock will be special. Regular old Soundwave, not special armor Soundwave or shining Soundwave or whatever fancy name they give this one here. No, sirree. Yeah, surprise stream today. Figured I'd just be doing a little something since I'm opening stuff. Oh, and we got a Grimlock here. And it looks like it's regular Grimlock. Oh well. Just vanilla. Vanilla on both. No chases. Probably should have tracked where they were in the case in the spots, but whatever. No biggie. Although maybe they, you know, maybe they messed something up. We will see. We will see. And of course, we got my boy Shockwave, so I'm going to put him aside. Those are the 2 that we're going to build first. The best Autobot and the best Decepticon. Oh, and Shockwave comes with a silica gel. Got to keep them fresh and dry. What's up, Oscar? Welcome to the live stream. Just cracking open stuff today. Nothing too special. Just figured I'd open these in the game room, so to speak. There's a Constructicon and some silica gel. Yeah. We're going to have a lot of boxes in the recycling bin tonight. Oh, that just went flying everywhere. Ugh, there we go. Extra glue on these guys, let me tell you. Who do we got here? Aside from silica gel, we got, oh, it's the Shining Megatron, which isn't actually anything special. It's just, hey, gold Megatron. Two more. Well, it'd be nice if we get a chase of some kind, but judging by the fact that, I mean, to my knowledge, the trading card usually will indicate if it is a special version, because I remember some of the other blockies I've gotten, that was the case. But I don't know, I've never opened Defenders before. This is my first time opening them. Constructicon on this one. So I've never opened a Defender before, so I don't know if it's different. The trading cards are smaller, so that is the first thing I will note, where the Galaxy versions had much larger kind of pog kind of thing going on. This one is Jazz. Nice. For Jaws D. So there we go. So we got all of those. Let's get all this cardboard out of the way. Knife is done. So let's build one or two or 6 or 12, shall we? Put some of these aside. Constructicons. Put Jazz over there. Silica gel. Which, by the way, if you collect comic books or trading cards, I find that this is probably the best use for these things. If you have, like, let's say, a long box of vintage comic books or old trading cards, throw a bag of silica gel inside that box. It's always nice to keep around. It'll keep your stuff nice and safe. But otherwise, I find they don't really serve a purpose. I mean, the only time you ever really saw these in Transformers was if you bought BotCon exclusives back in the day. They used to put them in the box with the foam just to protect the cases, but it's not really a common thing you see. It is what it is. So let's crack open Rodimus Comboy or Hot Rodimus. Oh my goodness, all the pieces. All the pieces, and it's all distracted from Proto Man here. Alrighty. Shouldn't be too difficult. There's the instructions on the back. Show you on there. Work with me. There we go. There's the instructions. So you could build the regular hand, you could build the buzzsaw hand, the legs. Extremely simple stuff. How do you keep paper-based collectibles safe? Well, that's just it. Something like, again, it really depends on where you live. Um, and the reason why I keep the silica gels for my trading cards is because I keep all of my trading card stuff on the top floor of my house. I keep the comics in the bottom floors. I keep everything, but just for space reasons, I keep all my trading card stuff upstairs. And, while Canada might have a lot of summers that are pretty mediocre in comparison to the United States, there is some summers that could be pretty humid. So I'm in one of those situations where, if you can, always have that, because you never know how bad it's going to get. And it could get pretty humid sometimes here in Montreal. And because it could get pretty humid sometimes, I want to make sure that my stuff is protected, so to speak. So, yeah. Let me just put so you have like the blue here, which is used to make the blue eyes for Roddy over here. And that's actually pretty smart, because you know that by maybe making that color separation, that that later on they're going to clearly do like a shattered glass version, and they're going to have the red eyes on it. So by making it two separate separations of the assembly is planning for the future. And you pop that on there like so. Very cool. We got some. Might as well put the spoiler on right now, because you gotta. Because you gotta. But I would, anytime you get silica gel and stuff, as long as it's not like in food where it might have oil on it or dirt, because I know sometimes I buy like I guess like we'll call them like Asian style chips and stuff, and sometimes you have a silica gel packet on the inside, and that silica gel will always be covered with all kinds of grease or whatever or oil from the chips. So usually you don't want that. But if you ever get silica gels that are pretty clean, always keep them because they will have a use at some point, especially again for maintaining and protecting some of your paper, goods. You want to protect those as best you can. So, uh, let me see. Ninjatron, what's up, man? Well, you know if you got the chase if the Chinese character on the card has a glare effect on them. Oh, is that true too? I don't think I've ever gotten a chase one. Let me just turn around and look for a moment at my Blokees display. Yeah, I never got luck with those. But then again, always the characters that I was gunning for were always like regular versions anyways. For now. I mean, again, the Galaxy Defenders of this Wave 4 with Hot Rod is going to be a nightmare because there's four different versions and three of them are chases. So that's yeah, that's not going to be fun, but it is what it is, unfortunately. You got to do what you got to do to get what you want. But yeah, let's make sure here. Yeah, make sure I'm doing everything right. So Roddy's two arms are like that, and then this is like that for the shoulders. Righty. Looking good. God, he looks good. He looks really good. I'm doing this all off camera, of course. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. He's got more of a reddish hue to him, which is much more Rodimus, but this is labeled as Hot Rod, and it comes with the buzzsaw, so it clearly is trying to be more Hot Rod than Rodimus. But yeah, very, very cool. Very, very cool. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I just want to just kind of just build this stuff with you guys together. Have a nice, cool little build together. Give him the gun. Give him his ion blaster, which rarely saw action, unfortunately, in the media. Oops. They leaned more on his tri blasters that were on his hand. That's just how it was. But you always had to include some kind of accessory with the figures. So, yeah, yeah. All right, let's build his legs, and we're going to be almost done. Again, the beauty with Blockies is their simplicity of design, which, and the big topic always, and I always like to do panels talking about it, is because there's always a lot of people that are scared to get into model kit building because of the stigma that's associated with model kit building, which is like, oh, do I need to know how to glue stuff? Do I need to know how to paint? Like that's later, I always say. That's something that if you get to the next level, that stuff will come up at some point. But in general, you never really have to worry about that kind of stuff because most model kit building, especially the most popular model kit building, which is Gunpla, which is Gundam stuff, um, you never encounter that really. That's when you get to the next level when you want to really secure your kits and put them, you could glue them and everything, and then you can make them look really sleek and stuff. But otherwise, yeah, yeah, look at that. There he is, buzzsaw hand, ion blaster, looking good. Actually, it's his photon blaster is the official name for it, because the photon eliminator is what his Rodimus Prime gun is called. So this is the photon blaster. And then Masterpiece kind of made it lore where his two guns that he had, his two photon blasters, combined to make his photon eliminator when he became Rodimus Prime. So very cool. Yep, Cooster, I'm opening the Blokees, and thank you for sending me them. This is the first one I built, obviously, because that was the one I was gunning for the most. Very, very cool. Which the only shame is that he doesn't come with an extra right hand to just give him a normal right hand. But then again, there's going to be so many of these Galaxy Defender versions. It's going to be the Defender versions in general from the next wave that will have some regular hot rods without it. So very nice. I love it. Look how great that is. Let me get something for scale. Got to get something for scale here. Need something tiny that's Transformers. Unfortunately, I don't have anything that's really small Transformer related nearby. One moment. Because everyone has Tacticons, right? I don't know. No one and their grandma ever bought a Tacticon Transformer, so I don't know. That's the only one I have nearby. I'd have to get something in the shelving, but I have this thing where I open up Transformers, I play with them for a bit, and then they go right into the display. So very cool. Put you next to my boy over there. Very awesome. Let's do Shockwave. Galaxy Defender figures are pretty frugal except for some of the variants. Well, then that's going to be not fun trying to get all the chases of Wave 4. I got a feeling, I just have a sinking feeling I'm probably going to have to, unfortunately, just bite the bullet and buy some of them individually on eBay, maybe. That might be the only chance I have because I am not going to be buying multiple cases just to hope that I get a chase. And considering again, there's going to be 4 different ones, which is going to be brutal. It is what it is. Here we got Shockwave, and this one is a different color wave than the previous one that they did. This one obviously is done in translucent, which doesn't really come through, but you could kind of see there a little bit. It's done in translucent to kind of represent him being a hologram talking through a hologram conversation. And I have no idea how this one's done because they obviously have to do the antennas. Okay, so the antennas are going to be like that. The feet are going to be like that. Everything is clear. And I have terrible lighting here, by the way. So this is not a model kit building environment. This is more for playing my TCG stuff. There's this clear hand. Oh, here comes Butters. He's going like, what's up? Yo, what's up, Butters? Can't be on camera today, boy. What it says here? They added 1 or more big extra cards with Blokees in the blind box. Oh, did you put? Were you the one that put the card inside? So that's why there was 2. So there was 2 Galaxy here. That's what I was wondering. There we go. So that's why I have an extra of that. Well, then I will pass on the goodwill, and one of my patrons will get an extra little something something in the next gift box. We'll get a cool oversized trading card. There's Shockwave's head. Let's put him on the body. Well, look at that. It is only logical to pick Shockwave. What's up, Mikey and Louie? We're just building some Defender version Blokees. Got some in the mail from good old Michael Koo. So I figured I'd build them live since, yeah. Not going to do all of them, but I'm going to do, I'll do some of my faves just because they're so great. They're so awesome. I guess this is obviously the wire that's going to be used for his arm afterwards. Very, very cool. Where's this hand? I'm going to build the hand for that one. But yeah, How are you guys doing all today? Is that a Blokees hot rod? That's what's up. Yeah, damn right it is. That's what I've been gunning for from the beginning. Ever since Blokees was created 3 years ago. Like my goal was always like, I gotta get me when they do make a Blokees hot rod or Rodimus to uh to get one. And then they finally did, at least in the Defender version, they did this guy right here with Jazz. So me and Jaws D got our very first Blockies via this, although the Jazz was originally, I believe, in Wave 2 of Galaxy version. Wave 2, I think it was, or Wave 1 had Jazz. Are the fists 3 millimeter? No, they're really tiny. Like, I'd have to say, hmm. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe 3 millimeter instead of five, probably. Do I have anything that's a 3 millimeter peg weapon nearby? I have nothing nearby, unfortunately, here. Damn, I probably should have gotten some other extra little accessories or weapons or whatever. Where is his T crotch torso piece? There we go. Good old crotch torso. And then we have this piece here. Melbourne, Australia, what's up? I apologize for waking you up to this silliness. I just wanted to build some model kits, and I figured I'd do it live instead of doing it alone, all my lonesome. Although the lady's upstairs, but she's cooking right now. She's making some awesome food, so I'll worry about that later. But yeah, very, very cool. Let's put Shockwave's other arm on there. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't he the greatest? Isn't he the greatest? I know Shockwave's now getting hate because of the voting recently because he won. So obviously people are directing their hate towards him. Oh, Hot Shockwave shouldn't have won. And could have been someone else. You know what? I'll be honest with you. My vote was going to be either Mirage or Shockwave anyways. So I know what was going to happen one way or another in my case. So how does this go? Goes like this. I see what they did. They did his legs like so. Doing everything off camera. Because normally I'm not used to doing this. Oh, I see what they did. That's kind of cool, actually. That's kind of cool. Is the crotch backwards? Did I do it backwards? Or it's hard to tell because it's translucent, so all the details are hard to see. But very cool. Very, very cool. And very simple to build. And I can't stress that enough. Like anyone who's scared to build a blocky because they've never built a model kit before, do not have that fear. You know, like this is like model kit building 101 in a lot of ways. I used to suggest for years when I would do my panels, and actually the panel that I did recently, I used to tell people, get yourself an SD kit from Gundam and you'll be good to go. But even then I felt an SD kit was almost too easy and you know, that you could build anything else. Does it have the peg hole? Am I missing stuff? No, okay, I'm not missing it. Like I felt that, these are so easy that it's a really good way to kind of get started on your model kit journey. And then you could enjoy the craziness that is building model kits. Okay, there's the fine detail on the side. Very cool. Very, very cool. But look at him. Look at him. Look at that. Let me just hang him by there. Look at that. Translucent shockwave. Very, very cool. And these, honestly, if I remember correctly, like a case of these, Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, but a case of these is like $32 to $35, right? Like something like that. And considering you get 12 in here, that comes to like $2 to $3 each, depending on. So I mean, $2 to $3 for a little articulated, multiple tampograph, no stickers, little kit. I don't want to like throw shade, but I know that if Hasbro put this on a card back and sold this would have been like a $10 figure. You know how it is, you know? Like no joke. Yeah, I wish I even had a card back nearby. Let me grab one of these nearby that were in the trash. Like this would have been like here's what Rise of the Beast. Like they would have like done something like this, and they'd be like, "Yeah, here, give me $10." Yeah, that would have been the case. But so it's amazing, and again, granted, again, when you get into the semantics of business, I mean, these come directly from China and they have the manufacturing facilities and the distribution. So they're able to make it cheaper, where Hasbro obviously has to do it through, and I have to use this vernacular, a third party, it's a third party that they pay, a plastic injection mold factory that is a partner with their brand. And then the nickel and diming of how the toy industry works when it comes to that. Let's build a vehicle. Let's build Shattered Glass Optimus. Gotta build another purple boy. Michael says Blocky Galaxy Defenders Wave 3 blind boxes are 38 to 39. There's 12 figures included. Got a roll. Dinner bell has been rung. Well, thank you, Michael, for tuning in, and thank you for the awesomeness that is the Blokees. Which again, I suggest everyone give it a try, give it a build. What is this? It's like some kind of Soundwave coin. That's kind of cool, actually. I didn't know that comes with that. That's with the vehicle one. All right, so since this is a vehicle, there's a bit of a different animal here, but probably more or less the same story. Just show how it looks there first. It looks like you got to put the front end, you got to put the exhaust, the wheels. Pretty simple. Put that. You put the exhausts. We're almost there. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that nice? All the cracks on the glass and everything. You got the roller unit. This is actually a million times much more simple. Long before I built any giant robot model kits, my first model kits I ever built were airplanes and vehicles from Monogram. There used to be a company that Monogram had called Snap Tight, and tight was spelled Tite. And I was reminded of just how easy and simple uh, those kits were back in the day. And as a kid, for fun, I would literally just take them apart and put them back together, like over and over, back and forth, just because of how simple it was back then. But yeah, well, that's pretty cool. Okay, so there's a little hook on the back here. I see what's going on. Then you attach the roller unit. Okay, now I remember. I remember seeing like the commercials for this. Look at that. That's pretty cool actually, because then you could tuck it in like that. Then you could bring it up. Yeah, that took like 5 seconds to build. The vehicle ones, again, like I said, I'm so reminded of just like how simple it was back in the day. Just super simple when you're doing vehicle model kits. You're practically just like installing I guess that's the handlebars. If you want to have a figure on the back here, we'll get just my luck. I have two characters that their other hands are unfortunately being used by other things, a buzzsaw for Roddy and a blaster for Shockwave, but we'll just try to reenact it as best we can. Let's see what we could do. Is that a giggity sound? Sounds like a giggity sound. What did I say? Did I say something that was giggity? You got the same coin, so I guess it's just some kind of just You know what I think it is? It's probably the judging by how simple some of these are. It's probably more just like, hey, like we have the extra budget bonus, you know? Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's popped off. There we go. Shattered glass. Real talk. Not really too impressed with this, but again, it's vehicles. It is what it is. I mean, I think they just wanted to add a little extra element, and now that they have the Constructicon combiner building idea, you know, there we go. Let's open up the Soundwave and double check that we didn't get the special one. But if from what I heard that you guys said that we it has to be a shiny trading card, yeah, looks like it's just the regular one. Regular Soundwave. Oh well. Ugh. In the garbage you go. In the garbage you go. Regular Soundwave. But see, that's what I love. Like all the tempo, all the deco is already on it. You don't have to deal with stickers. You don't have to deal with like tiny stuff. That's always a big fear that a lot of people have. Oh, I don't want to have to deal with that kind of stuff. I'm all ham hands. I'll be honest with you. Like I like to sometimes think that I'm a little bit, all thumbs when it comes to tiny little things. I got big old hands. I got big mechanic hands, like that's what my hands are for. And doing sports. Where sometimes these tiny things, it's gonna look tiny in my hand, but giggity. But it is what it is. But I find that if I could do it, then anybody can do it. These are not difficult kits to build. Yes, that's his regular blaster. I believe that's his battery shoulder cannon. Just want to make sure all the weapons are proper. Yeah, that's going to be probably for the shoulder and then the fists. Let's look at the chat. Every that comes with a case with a figure and a coin. I guess that's the figure with the coin. I guess they probably try to figure out a way to just balance it. Maybe the plastic cost for this one justified putting that on the coin. Although on the runner, it's a green coin. I wonder who would have been for the green coin because this doesn't match the green of the Constructicon. So I wonder who it would have been where that color would have been. Huh. Oh yeah, there, right there. It even says the coin. I'm so silly. I didn't see that. So there's different coins even. Oh, look at that. Different coins. Actually, where's my phone? So I will want to look into some of the other variants and their naming, but I guess I'll do that later. Yeah, let's put some legs together. Well, that's the thing with Blockies, Will Murphy, is they have like, and this is kind of wasted on us as the Western community, but they have something called, I think it's called the BCL or something. It's like the Blocky Customizing League or whatever, where they have like a whole community in Japan because there's such a standardized design for both these and the Galaxy versions that there is so much customization and mocks as they call them in the Lego community, like original creations that that's almost what it's made for. And I love that. I love that there's like an emphasis on all this kind of like, original ideas and original creations and stuff because it's so like catered and designed for that I want to see more of it. Like I'm surprised that it doesn't show up in my feed that often in terms of what fans create and everything because I would love to see some of the original ideas and creations by fans. I really would. Do I have this backwards? Oh, silly me. Silly me. So complicated. I would love to see some customs because the only customs I've ever seen was there was the TFCon exclusive that one year with what was it called? Strong Ball. There was that TFCon exclusive. They took one of the Constructicons and they gave him like a tuxedo white color scheme and stuff, and they made 50 of them for TFCon 2013 Baltimore. I might be right, I might be wrong. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, I picked up that one. That was very cool. So you know, it was cool that there at least there were some people that were down for creating that kind of stuff and making a mass exclusive that was at TFCon because, TFCon will always do the third party exclusive kind of stuff. Here's what we got thus far for the superior one. For the superior one, let's put the old T-crotch, install that. There we go. Install the hip assemblies. Install the leg assemblies. And look how easy this is. That's why, anyone who's like, oh, I don't know about building model kits. This is easier than anything I've ever suggested for years with Gunplock and Gundam. This is a million times easier. Did you just unbox a hot rod? Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. That was the main goal. If somehow, even though that wouldn't happen because I have a full case, but if somehow I didn't get a hot rod, this stream would be over. It'd be over. But yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. How the hell does this go on here? Am I missing a piece here? No. Oh, where is this one? Okay. Silly me. But like I said, I am not looking forward to the wave that comes afterwards. That is not going to be fun because I don't know how am I going to get all those hot rods. It's kind of like the NFT Funko Pop hot rod situation where it's like, ugh, you know, why oh why, why oh why. But yeah, well, it's definitely a congratulations, but it's you get it easily in a case. If I get the chase ones in the future, that'll be worth congratulating, if anything. But yeah, very cool stuff. And there we go. Soundwave, communications officer, basic version with his coin. Very, very cool. Did they do a hot rod coin? Is there a hot rod coin? Oh no, is there a hot rod coin? Do I have to look that for that too? I hope there's no hot rod coin. Where's my phone? I gotta look this stuff up. Should have done my research beforehand. One moment. Get the old phone out. Let's see. Oh no, they did do a hot rod coin. Oh man. I gotta track down a hot rod coin from this assortment. Ah, just more things to get. Just great. Just great. There's a hot rod coin. Well, I will trade a Soundwave coin for a hot rod coin. I clicked on that by mistake. Sorry about that. That's the computer raging against me. We'll do one more. We'll do I think this is Grimlock here. Yeah. We'll do Big Grim. And then we will call it a day. But yeah. Man, there's a hot rod coin too. Blockies, you're killing me. You're killing me. cool to hear, Star. Well, again, and I feel it's such an easy gateway to model kit building. Like a kid could easily build this. I was building, vehicles and stuff like that when I was like, gosh, when did those come out? 89, 88, the snap type monogram kits? Like that had to be, yeah, it had to be like 89, 88. And so I was like, gosh, I had to be like 6 years old, 7 years old at the time. So Grimlock looks shiny. That's a chase. Is it the chase? Oh, yeah, maybe it is the chase. Maybe it is, but I don't know. This isn't shiny. I don't know. Maybe it is the chase. Oh, well. I don't know. Chase Grimlock. Lucky me. Or not lucky me. I don't know. Maybe I want regular Grimlock. What's up, James? How you doing? Just building blockies. That's all we're doing today. It's gonna be the last one though that we're gonna build, and I guess we got lucky. We got a chase one, according to Ninjatron. Maybe we did get lucky. Feet, fists, torsos, the T crotch, and the sword. I'll make sure I got all the pieces here. Maybe I did get a chase. Lucky me. Lucky me. Not what I wanted, though. I would have preferred the Hot Rod coin over a Chase Grimlock, but I'll take my victories where I can. Well, like I said, I will trade I will trade my Soundwave coin for a Hot Rod coin, and now that I have a Chase Grimlock, when Wave 2 of this comes out and there's going to be a whole bunch of different Chase Hot Rods, I will gladly trade this Grimlock for one of those Chase Hot Rods instead. Plenty of Grimlock action in my life. Is that your prototype setup for the comic book table? So this, I'm in the comic book room, and this is my table setup for when I play TCG stuff. So it's one of my many play mats. I figured I'd bust out the Proto Man play mat. Usually when I play Magic the Gathering, I have a play mat that has the Jester's Cap from Ice Age, one of my favorite Magic cards ever made from 1997. So but today we're busting out the UFS Universal Fighting System Proto Man playmat where he's punching out the unfortunate Sniper Joe from Mega Man 3, 4, because Sniper Joes in Mega Man 2 had a pink color scheme to them. So here is, I guess, Chase Grimlock in his shininess. Yay, I guess. I don't know. I guess it is. Yeah, Chase Grimlock. I'll be. There you go. Huh. Oh well. Sure. Well, that tells you something. If you get the chase, the card doesn't really indicate anything. So you got to actually open it up to know. That's a little bit of info, I guess. But hey, if anyone wants to trade, do we build one more? Do we build Shining Megatron? Who do we build? We got Megatron. I'll let you guys decide. We got Shatterglass, Optimus, Robot Mode. We got Skywarp. We got Constructicons, Jazz, Shining Megatron. I guess that's the other Constructicon. I don't know where the card went. Oh, the card went there for Mixmaster. Who do you want to see next? Jazz, one of the Constructicons. Who do you want to see next? We'll build one more and then we'll call it quits. It'll make it good. Hold up the card again. There's no like holographic foil over it. There you go. There's a little QR code. I do not know. I'm here side by side with the Soundwave, which also would have had a chase variant. His would have came with the with his minions. How do you feel about the three blocky combiners and the potential to scale with Titans? Well, I mean, they definitely don't scale with Titans, that's for sure. Um, they're much more tiny, but they scale more with, I would say, with the core class combiners, if anything. Looks like Jazz is winning out, so Jaws D will be happy to hear that one. So we're gonna do Jazz then, I guess. We will call it quits with the block out with your rock out. Oh, is it the name? Ah, you're right. It's the font. You're right, Ninjatron. So the font is the difference because Soundwave has the regular, but then the Grimlock has that grayish kind of font. You're right. There you go. That's how you know. For anyone watching, if they don't want to open them up, like you want to leave these bag, but you don't want to, but you want to know what's inside, I guess you got to read the font. So here's Jazz, little Jazz. Interesting. You don't have to put a light piping already in his head. It already has it on the visor. I guess there's no intent for him for some kind of repaint in the future. No ricochet or shattered glass or something. Separate piece. There's the back of the Porsche. Blocky's idea Rock Lords. Well, you know me. I will be down for anything that is the GoBot Rock Lord origins. And knowing Hasbro, I'm pretty sure, and I can't say which companies have been suggested this from the licensing standpoint, but I know that Hasbro, every so often, when they get the opportunity, they will suggest uh, GoBot characters to licensors just to keep some of those trademarks afloat. Not just Transformers, they'll do that with some of their other brands like Inhumanoids and Visionaries and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so that's I'm always down for that. If Blockies wants to do the greatest of all time of the GoBots, mighty robots, mighty vehicles, I will gladly buy a case of that. That's for sure, without question. Only if they make Vanguard into Wave 1, even though he's a little more obscure Vanguard. He's my favorite GoBot, if people are wondering. Look him up. He was kind of like Sideswipe, Hot Rod kind of character. No surprise. The much more sarcastic, kind of fun-loving dude. And he was one of the MRT designs, which were the uh, molds that were made in-house by Tonka instead of Plex, which was the company that was in charge of the original Machine Robo molds that made the GoBots that we know and love today. That and that. And then Jazz comes with a giant a giant speaker. I like that. And here's Jazz. Let's put Jazz just like that. The only thing that sucks doesn't have his wing back pieces, but whatever. No biggie. They did that with his block his regular Galaxy blocky. So there's good old Jazz. Looking good with his speaker weapon. Because he's telling people testing The Simpsons. Very cool. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Are all the Blockies SD? Well, these are the Defenders versions. Defenders are in that SD style. Here, I'll show you the box. So they're much more like in that SD super deformed style. But the Galaxy versions, which I wish I had, I'd have to get into the glass case, but I'm not going to go do that. The Galaxy ones, maybe I should. Just I'll get Jazz to compare side by side. Hold on. You know what? You guys deserve to know what's going on. Give me a moment. Give me one moment. I'm just gonna have to go get it. One moment, guys. I'll be right back. And I'm back. So you're gonna see a huge size contrast here. But here is a Galaxy Blockies Jazz, which I also got from Michael Koo. And then here is the Defenders one. So it's a big size difference there. But oh, what's up, Butters? What's up? But so that's kind of the big difference. And again, with these ones, you get multiple hands, usually a lot of customization and stuff. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I love the Galaxy versions. I think they are fantastic. They are just as easy to build now as these little ones here. And but they have so much customization and articulation and just like you could do all kinds of cool poses and stuff. It's just, you know, they're amazing. And then they all come with these connecting stands and stuff. So they're very cool. But these are fun too. These are fun too. These are like, you know, again, it's something different. They're very affordable. You know, like again, $3 to $4 at best, I would imagine, depending on where you buy them. But man, they're great. It's just, you know, thank God these are a little more affordable. So maybe a whole bunch of people are going to be cracking cases of Wave 4, and then I could get all the hot rods, hopefully. Hopefully. I don't know. That's gonna be my life. That's gonna definitely be my life over the next couple of weeks, trying to track all of those down. But I mean, that's kind of the comparison there for those. Big size difference. Can they share accessories? Oh yeah, everything is universal. Everything is universal. Like here, you could take the gun from this one here. You could put it in the gun for this one here. One second, let me just put it in. Yeah, you know, it's like he has Jazz's gun there. Like that's the one thing is they all have at least like a universal, like I guess we could call it. Here, I'll even show you this. I'll pop off his arm here, and then I'll pop off his arm here, and you'll probably get a kick out of this, but oh, it doesn't stick too well. Let me try to do it the other way around. Oh no, the joints are actually kind of larger. They looked, I don't know, to the naked eye, they looked the same size, but they're slightly a millimeter smaller. Man, great articulation on these though. Just fantastic. Absolutely amazing articulation. But yeah, you know, once again, something that I heavily suggest if you're hesitant, you know, take my hand. Well, again, the weapons look like they're universal at least. That's the one good thing. Yeah, the weapons look like they're universal. It's just the just trying to put him back together. Had him in a nice pose before my display. There we go. Very, very cool. Love these guys. Love these guys. Love these small ones. Thank you again, Michael, for sending me these. Very, very awesome. I'll build some Constructicons later. And I'll talk about some of the other stuff that I got in the P.O. box from him this Saturday night when we do the live stream and we talk about the news and stuff. The only thing I could really talk about right now, news related, is the fan vote for the. Actually, it's oddly enough, it's involving this dude right here. The fan vote for this guy right here is winding down for the category, which will be ending soon on Instagram. We could actually get that live right now. Let's pull it up on the phone. Let's see what the voting is right now on the old Insta. One moment. I don't put social media on my phone usually, so I have to do it the archaic way. Search function. Da, da. So we'll have to do a vote here. So let's vote C. So C is leading by quite a bit right now. I didn't vote for C. I clicked C right now just because they don't show the voting unless you vote. So I won't say who I voted for, but so right now C is leading. Let's see if you remove it. If you remove your vote, they don't want to show anything. So let's do wild cards. Oh no, Protoman voted for wild card. No, he's going to be a gun. But either way. So right now, C is leading by quite a bit. Obviously, China through, I believe, Red Note, which is their website, they're going to be doing their own separate voting too. So we're going to see, no pun intended, who wins that one. But yeah, very cool stuff. Very, very cool. So again, check out Blokees. There's a lot of different sources of how you could pick these guys up pretty affordably. Um, I usually like suggest, Entertainment Earth or depending on where you're buying stuff. But very, very cool. Again, thank you, Michael. I got Shockwave. I got my boy Hot Rod, so life is good. Now I just got to track down a Hot Rod coin from this wave, and I'll be satisfied, at least for this one. And then wave 4 of Defender version is going to be the real nightmare. And then, of course, oh my God, if they have like these oversized trading cards too, I got to track down of the chases. Oh God. Oh man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But thanks again for everyone who tuned in for this little live stream of madness. And yeah, just something little simple. Figured I'd do it on this lazy Thursday and we'd all enjoy it together. So thanks again for supporting the podcast. And thank you, Michael, for sending this in the P.O. box. And we'll have another live stream this Saturday. Tomorrow we'll have some news for the Friday night. And we'll enjoy the beauty that is our Transformer world. So thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you in the near future.